I'll just read it to you. It broke real late last night. Terrion Arnold officially arrested on 8 felony counts, carrying up to life in prison. You guys remember the story. We talked about it from day one. Rico and I had said it. I don't think he's here week 1. There's no evidence, bruh. Okay, you keep believing that. If doorknobs like us and a few phone calls can figure out where it's headed, I have continued to live in wonderment of how this organization took the approach that they did. And we'll play some audio for you. Because, now the organization, because of respecting the legal process, can't comment. They were awfully mouthy the whole spring. And it's stunning to me because Brad and Dan are a lot of things, and dumb isn't one. So I want to read this to you. Arnold turned himself in. He's facing 8 felony charges, 4 for robbery with a firearm or deadly weapon, and 4 for kidnapping. Being held with no bond is due in court today, 1:30 in the afternoon. Potential life sentence, according to the state attorney, which added the pretrial detention motion will be filed to argue for Arnold remaining in custody until his trial. His lawyer says he categorically denies any involvement in the matters underlying the allegations made against him and maintains his innocence. There's no credible evidence linking Arnold to these allegations. Instead, the government appears to be relying on testimony from multiple convicted felons. Oh, you mean his best friends?
Yeah. Funny thing about that, Mike, when you trying to do dirty things, you normally hire dirty people.
Yeah. You mean the girl who was invoking his name and texting him? Got it. Mr. Arnold looks forward to his day in court and is confident the process will lead to his vindication. Okay. February incident, we all go back to it. Then you got the state attorney talking about it. No one has the right to take the law in their own hands. Dispute over missing property doesn't justify kidnapping, violence, or retaliation. We're going to pursue justice for the 3 victims by holding everyone accountable. We're aware of the matter. We've been in contact with the club. We have no further comment. That's the NFL. We're aware of the legal situation regarding Terrion Arnold. We will not comment at this time out of respect for the ongoing legal process. Interesting. That's quite a pivot from March 30th. Also, Justin Al Capone told me he didn't do it. Alphonse is a great guy. Like, do you understand how ridiculous that sounds? And now, this Rico and I before that were saying, guys, I'm telling you, they're building a mega case against the guy. I want to remind you, NFL teams have different information pipelines than you would ever believe. Their heads of security are ex-FBI, ex-detectives, ex-chiefs of police. The web of the NFL and their information is tied into courtrooms and prosecutors and DAs. Please do not insult my intelligence by saying you know what we know. No. Stop. There was no reason for the organization top down to talk the way they did about Terrion when it was pretty obvious from anyone who was covering this. Behind the scenes would tell you, no, he is far from out of the woods. Yeah. So this is the other problem I have. Rico, they approached this offseason as if they believed that.
There it is.
And that's the stunning part. They're supposed to be smarter than a couple of knobs like us.
Right. Son, did you do this? No, I didn't, Dad. Okay.
We're good.
But once son leaves room, all right, we're going to have to do some follow-up and get a backup plan. Let's just act as if this may have taken place because the circumstantial evidence, Mike, it just screamed, as the drop says, something's wrong here.
Rico.
You're traveling with $250,000 in jewelry at an Airbnb.
Now the reports are coming out. I want you to think about what I'm about to say. The reports are coming out that the girl was FaceTiming him during the kidnapping and the beating. Yeah. I mean, what? I think it's a nothing. I think we're going to be okay. What planet are you on? We were able to infer, and it was even reported that the text messages existed back then. Right. Now you find out they were shooting a movie?
Right. With TA all up in there. It's like, okay, yeah, I wonder who TA is.
And yes, his friends flipped on him. Yeah. That's how it works.
Yes.
They're not some highbrow group of people, and this isn't La Cosa Nostra. They're not going to rot in prison for life to protect TA. Yeah, they flipped. And from the very beginning, what did we say? He was the mastermind of this. There's no other conclusion you could come to.
And for those who will sit there and say, well, of course they're going to say that these are some unscrupulous people. That's who you hire when you want unscrupulous things done.
He's right.
You don't go and get a stockbroker. You go out and get some people who aren't afraid to get their hands dirty.
Right. It's also, you're not hiring Denzel in The Equalizer.
Right.
What are we doing? So look, my focus, the Arnold thing, I'm done. I just didn't think he was going to play this year, and guess what? Now he's definitely not. And you can void his contract and do all that. None of that helps you. Because here's the backstory in all this, and this is where I want to know if people can put whatever adjective they want to it. I had this concern that Arnold wasn't going to be here anyways. Kirby Joseph, I don't know if he ever plays football again. And Brian Branch could be out deep into the season.
Thanksgiving.
Okay. I'm looking at this and going, so what was the offseason again? I replaced Amik Robertson with Roger McCreary. Call that a push. And I brought back Rock Ya-Sin. Is that seriously the plan? Right. For a team that people around the league keep talking about as I don't want to say a dark horse, but a Super Bowl possible team. And I'm going, on paper, yes, but man, this secondary looks like we got some problems.
Well, you forgot about Enix Rayshaw.
Buddy, after 2 years of not playing football, pardon me if I just kind of lower the temperature there.
Bro, I got to wonder if the warranty has been voided on him and you just can't return him back to the store.
Well, look, he's got every opportunity now.
Right. It's your time to shine, and you get to show people. But you're right. When you look at the secondary and you just look at the NFC North, like, okay, Justin Jefferson, who's guarding him? The receivers that the Bears have, heck, the receivers of the Packers. Like, your secondary is trash right now. Let's just call it what it is. And it's not like you got this hell of a pass rush to nullify that. You're going to have to outscore teams. That's basically what it comes down to. Dan Campbell, I won't say a word if he goes for it. If he just doesn't even have a punter on the 53-man squad because he has to score each and every time, because I don't think this defense is going to be good enough to stop people, Mike.
No, and I mean, look, the Branch thing and the Kirby thing, there's a little bit of forecasting there. The Arnold angle was you needed him to have his breakout year this year.
He was the most healthiest person you had in your secondary.
It's true. I mean, you're not wrong. So I would like to know what people think, but like, I do think the organization looks ridiculous. Ridiculous. You could have said, guys, there's a legal process going on. Not talking about it. We want TA in camp. We got to let the process play out. You could have totally done that. That's boilerplate. Those comments from Dan, and those aren't the only ones, by the way. Those comments sound utterly absurd. Mm-hmm. And Dan Campbell, I want to say this again. I think Dan Campbell's gotten the most unfair rap in the league, as if he's not some smart guy because his traps connect to his earlobes.
Right, he's some type of a caveman.
Dan Campbell's a really intelligent man. So either you got bamboozled so bad by this kid that now you look this ridiculous, or what? I can't come to a conclusion that, look, even if you believe the kid, you can't just be like, I trust him, I believe him.
I think they wanted to, Mike. I don't think they got bamboozled. I think they just got hooked. It was one of those, all right, son, tell us everything we need to know. And the kid came in there and said, that's it. That's all. Are you sure? Because we're going to back you 100%. And Terrion flipped a coin and said, well, I got a 50-50 chance I don't go to jail, so I'm going to just ride with this.
I kind of feel like this is an organizational issue, though, because they got caught with their pants down with the whole Patricia thing, where like randomly a guy Googled his name and found out he had this history, and no one knew about it in the whole organization before they hired him. Wow. It's like the Lions have been caught a few times not knowing things about players.
How about Ragnow retiring? How do you get caught with your pants down on that when a couple of doorknobs like us had talking about it a year prior, saying, look, word on the street is this guy may pull the plug?
The fact that they were blindsided that Sue would leave, even though every human being in the Detroit area knew he wasn't going to stay here.
Right. Like Paul, they couldn't find him at the combine.
Wait, how about Ragnow Part 2, where you announce that he's coming back before the physical?
One problem. His hamstring is falling off the bone. Yeah, no, Paul, I look, I'm fine if people are like, nah, the organization was just trying to cover for him. I don't know. But from day one, this is our approach to it. And anyone I talk to, people who cover the league, people in law enforcement, no, dude, the odds that he was going to skate on this were less than 1%. Now, I couldn't have sat here and told you he was going to have 8 felonies and a life sentence. I could just tell you he wasn't playing week 1. So how could the organization talk that way. I think it's going to be nothing. I think we're good. I think we're in the clear. I believe the kid. I trust the kid. Do you understand how stupid that sounds now? Yeah. And there's no way if they didn't have the information, it's because they didn't want to know.
And their offseason makes them look even stupider.
That's true. Because you didn't really pursue anything with that secondary. And it's like you could see all the different landmines there. And Terrion Arnold was your most healthy, available piece coming into the season. And now that's gone.
The fact that they didn't even have a just in case. We don't think it's going to go in anywhere, but just in case it does get brought back up, we don't have anything for that either.
There's nothing I can add. I'll throw the number up. We can wrap about a little bit, obviously. Big news day for the Pistons. I think there is news with Larkin. We're going to talk. We got a lot of stuff to get to. And Club Rossini, possibly. 248.
No, that there will be Club.
Okay, 248-539-9797. You tell me, how big of a blow is it that Terrion? Look, he ain't going to be here. And where do you weigh in on Campbell's comments and on the organization? Both how they sound, but also want to have a do-over with that offseason? Or are you totally comfortable with where you sit? 248-539-9797. Rico, go ahead, buddy.